What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Avengers news update. Now then, before I talk about this amazing news update, I'd just like to apologise for the last video, because I know there's been a lot of complaints from some people about how the video was, was kind of annoying and gave you a headache because of the spinning. I do apologise for that, I am sorry, but basically I get a lot of complaints and comments and things of people a lot of the time saying, they want more than a still image. They don't want to just see a still image. So I always try to up my game. When I did the LEGO Dimensions Let's Play, I wanted to, show more of the toy pad and things like that, because that was a thing that people requested, and I'm now doing unboxings and stuff like that, because that's the things you guys want, and I'm here to deliver. So I thought I would try and do more and actually, just show more of the trailer. But sadly, I've realised now that I guess the trailer does go on loop and it does have a lot of spinning, so I can understand that, but hey, live and let learn. Anyway, this video is of course me talking about everything that's been announced at New York City Comic Con, and let me tell you right now, if you were on the fence about this game, if you were worried it wasn't going to be very good, if you were worried it wasn't going to be full of content, let me tell you right now, we were all so wrong. I mean, I was looking forward to this game, but I had no idea it was going to be this big. This game, guys, is going to be absolutely massive. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be talking about is some new details on the game. Now, not a lot of new details were revealed as such, but what was announced was cool. I mean, they announced loads of new locations, characters, costumes, and 2 vehicles as well. So, basically, the first thing, as you can see here, is to do with Quicksilver. And I know this is going to make people so happy. If you're a fan of Quicksilver, you're going to be very happy by this news. Basically, it was confirmed today, not at the panel, I believe it was in an interview with MTV with Arthur Parsons, I think. And basically, yes, you can run up buildings. Quicksilver can run up buildings in certain areas in the map, basically in missions, but when you're in the open world, you can do it anywhere you want. Any building you see in the open world, you can run up it. That is fantastic. Now, I know the next thing people are going to be asking, that's cool and all, but can he run super fast, faster than the Flash and everything in all these games before? Because, I know a lot of people don't like how slow those characters are, and that's perfectly understandable. I don't know that yet, but I do know that, they're trying really hard to make sure that Quicksilver is everything you all hope him to be, and of course, they're always trying to up their game, and they see that everyone wants Quicksilver to be fast, and to be honest, if you've got a character that can run up buildings, you don't want a character that runs a building slow. You want him to run up that building. You want to be getting up that building in seconds. So, to be honest, I think he will be able to run fast, but, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, this is very exciting. I was completely blown away by the addition of this. So basically, in LEGO Marvel Avengers, you have quests and races and things like that. And of course, we have the addition of random crimes, which is really exciting. But another new mission type was announced today, and it's called Agent Carter missions. Now, obviously, this is based on the TV show Agent Carter, who features Peggy Carter, played by Hayley Atwell. Now, these missions start off with the retired Peggy Carter from Captain America: The Winter Soldier telling you a story about one of her old adventures, and then it flashes back to that exact time, and you actually get to follow a young Peggy, which is, the Peggy Carter from the actual show. She has the red hat and everything. It's really cool as you help her in a specific quest. Now, that is awesome, and the best thing about this that blew me away when they were talking about it is this isn't just a mission that just starts and then boom, you follow Peggy. Oh no, this actually affects the open world of New York City. So when you turn around, 1 minute you're in the modern day and you're talking to old Peggy, retired Peggy, and then once it gets into the 1950s, all the cars turn into the 1950s, the people are wearing clothing from the 1950s, the whole city's atmosphere and everything changes to fit that era, and that is incredible. The only thing I hope from that is that we can free roam in that style. Imagine that. Imagine if they added Spider-Man Noir and we can free roam in 1950s New York City. That would be a dream come true for me, because I've always wanted a 1950s Spider-Man Noir game, so if I could have that in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, that would be incredible. But, fingers crossed, let's hope it happens. Alright, so another thing that was announced is some brand new locations. Now, I know a lot of people like myself are huge fans of, the open world of New York City in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. It's one of my favourite hub worlds, probably in all the LEGO games. I mean, it never seems to get boring for me. I just love going back there all the time. And you'd be happy to know, of course, that it is back, which is great. We all knew it was back, but there's more. There is more than that they've announced. So basically, you've got New York City. You're also going to be able to free roam in Washington, D.C., Hawkeye's Farm, Asgard, the Malibu Mansion, South Africa, and more. Yes, you can. These aren't just missions. You get to free roam in all these different locations around the globe. I mean, that is amazing. That is just so cool. We already knew of New York City and Hawkeye's Farm, but Washington, D.C., Asgard and Malibu Mansion and South Africa, that is incredible. That really is incredible. I mean, you know, the great thing about Malibu Mansion is I know a lot of people were asking for that. I actually do. Like, I saw loads of people and I was thinking, oh, well, you'll probably get Stark Tower, but, you know, Avengers Tower, that's what I said, but you probably won't get a Malibu Mansion. I doubt they would show both. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, never ever doubt TT Games. If you want something in the game, chances are it's going to happen. I mean, Malibu Mansion? Asgard? I never thought I would see Asgard. I always thought they would just add that as a side mission, but no, you get to free roam in Asgard. Now, the only thing I hope from this is I love the addition of random crimes in New York City, and that is just fantastic, but I really hope they do their own spin on that in the other open worlds as well. So maybe in Washington, D.C. you get attacked by Hydra, maybe in Asgard you get attacked by Dark Elves or Frost Giants, maybe the Malibu Mansion you get attacked by Extremis soldiers or something like that, Iron Man enemies, and that would just be really cool. And South Africa, Ultron bots. Ultron bots could be like the random crimes there. So all that kind of stuff would be really cool. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm very happy with the locations. The fact that you get to free roam in all these different places, that's insane. Alright, so next up is probably the thing everyone has been anticipating for so long. They want to know what characters are in this game that we can play as that have been announced at NYCC. So basically what I'm going to do is talk about the characters, then we're going to talk about the costumes that were announced, and then finally end on the vehicles. So the first character we're going to be talking about is Harley with his potato gun from Iron Man 3. So basically, if you don't know, Harley is the kid from Iron Man 3 that meets Tony in Tennessee, and he's played by Ty Simpkins. Now what's interesting about this character is Ty Simpkins, who plays Harley, he actually voiced Grey. Well, he played Grey in the Jurassic World movie, then he voiced Grey in LEGO Jurassic World, and then he came back and voiced Grey again in LEGO Dimensions. Now that is awesome that he actually came back to do all of that. That's really cool. So honestly, I think if he got the call to do LEGO Marvel's Avengers, he probably would have came in and done it. No word on if he is voicing Harley in the game, but Harley is playable at least, so that's kind of cool. Now this character, I could not believe it when I actually heard this character being announced. Fang Foom. That's right, Fang Foom is playable in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, and you should see it. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, here's the thing. With LEGO Marvel Superheroes, every time I saw it, you know, back in the day when I did videos back in 2013 on that game, as soon as I saw it, you know, I thought this looks like the greatest thing I've ever seen. This looks like the best Marvel game there will ever be. And honestly, when you look at it now, they barely scratch the surface. You know what I mean? Like, the things you see in this game now, like when you see Fang Foom in this game, he is massive. He's absolutely massive. He takes up like so much of the, like if you're playing it on a TV, you would take up so much of the screen. It's insane. He's absolutely massive. And that doesn't stop there. He can fly. He can fly all around the map. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. I'm blown away by how far they've been able to go with these characters. Now, I haven't seen any of his abilities, but, you know, you'd expect to see what Fang Foom can actually do in the game, but just seeing him fly around and seeing how big he is, that in itself is just incredible. Now, the next characters I'm going to be talking about is Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. I couldn't really get a great look at Moon Boy, but if you know Moon Boy, then you know who I'm talking about. So basically, with an interview with Harvey Parsons and MTV, they obviously talked about, you know, how in this game you can do team-up moves with Captain America and Scarlet Witch and all that kind of stuff. But they also said something about how every character can do it. And they mentioned how Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur, their special move is how Moon Boy can actually ride around on Devil Dinosaur. Now, I don't know if that's confirmed, if, you know, you can do that 24/7 or if it's a limited thing and he just does it for an attack, but it would be really cool if he could just ride around on Devil Dinosaur through the streets of New York all the time as Moon Boy. I mean, that just sounds so cool. And again, Devil Dinosaur, he's massive. He's exactly probably the same size as the T-Rex in LEGO Jurassic World, but trust me, you know, being able to walk around as that in New York City, that is going to be insane. Now moving on to some Iron Man news, we have confirmation on a brand new Iron Man suit that you'll be able to suit up into as Tony Stark in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, and it is of course Iron Man Mark 38 Igor. Yes, Igor is a playable suit that you'll be able to suit up into in this game, and that is just awesome because, to be honest with you, I didn't think this one would make it. I don't know what it is. I just thought maybe it won't be a very used suit, maybe people just wouldn't care about it, but honestly there's quite a big fan base for this suit alone. I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of tweets from people that want this suit in the game, and yes, here it is. You can get and suit up into the Mark 38 whenever you want and run around New York City stopping crimes, doing whatever you want. It's going to be a blast. Now then, another thing in Iron Man news, this isn't a confirmation, but it's just something to think about. Basically, Arthur Parsons recently teased on Twitter that we might see the Gemini suit, the Mark 39, one of my favourite suits in Iron Man, like, at all, maybe even just Iron Man in total. I just absolutely love the Gemini suit, and of course the Mark II as well from Iron Man 1. But he teased the Gemini suit, and you know, I just really want to see that in the game. I really do. And here's the thing, with all the news that has just been announced today, you know, think about the open world locations. We've got New York City, Washington DC, Hawkeye's Farm, Asgard, Malibu Mansion, South Africa, and more. Now, what if the Guardians of the Galaxy are in the game? Personally, I think they are. I mean, they've already got the Collector, so it's kind of teasing it heavily there. But what if the Guardians of the Galaxy are in the game, and then that also gives us the option to be able to free roam on Nowhere from the movie? I mean, imagine that, suiting up as Tony Stark into the Gemini suit, flying off into Nowhere with the Guardians of the Galaxy and fighting alongside them, taking down Ronan. That would be incredible. I absolutely would love to see that. You know, if we don't see that, it's not a big deal to me, honestly. That's just something I would love to see. But to be honest, if we just got the suit, I'd be more than happy. I mean, that would do me just fine. Alright, now next up is a character that I never thought I would actually be able to say is in this game. I mean, here's the story about this character, alright? With the LEGO games, I've kind of worked out a pattern. Now, that pattern might break next year, I don't know, but this is the pattern right now, okay? So basically, we had LEGO Batman 2, then we had LEGO Marvel Superheroes, then we had LEGO Batman 3, now we're having LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Now, what I worked out there was there would probably going to be a superhero game every year, and I know LEGO Marvel's Avengers didn't come out this year, but we at least got news about it. That's the thing. So before this game was even announced as LEGO Marvel's Avengers, I thought of it as LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. And the very first character I ever requested for this game was Ironmonger, and he's in the game. I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. All I can say is thank you very much to TT Games, Arthur Parsons, Stephen Sharples, anyone that has worked on this game and brought Ironmonger to life, or just anything in general. Thank you so much for actually bringing this character to life, because I love Ironmonger, I love Obadiah Stane, so to be able to play as them in this game is amazing. Now then, one thing to mention. No word on if you can actually get in and out of the suit and walk around as Obadiah Stane, but honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, come on. You've got Tony Stark, and he can get in and out of all these different suits, and then of course you've got Stan Lee, and he can do the same, and there's also another character that I'll be talking about in a bit that can also do that as well. So to be honest with you, I'm going to say yes. I think it's very likely that Ironmonger will be able to get in and out of his suit and will be able to walk around as Obadiah Stane, but we will just have to wait and see. Now, before I talk about these characters, I would just like to make something perfectly clear that was mentioned at the panel. So basically, somebody asked if we're going to see Charlie Cox's portrayal as Daredevil in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. The answer is no. No, you will not see any Netflix content, any Netflix Marvel Cinematic Universe content in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Reason being, because it is too mature for this game. It is far too mature. The content that you see in that show, it just isn't suitable for children. You know, it really isn't. Now then, I love Daredevil. I love the show. It's incredible. I think Charlie Cox, in my eyes, is the definitive Daredevil. He is. He really is. He's the definitive Daredevil, and he just knocked it out of the park. So it's a bit of a shame to me that personally he's not going to be voicing in the game, or we won't get his costume. However, here is the good news. Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist will be in the game. So you won't have their costumes from the show, but those characters are in the game at least. Now that is brilliant news, because here's the thing. Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, they were already in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Luke Cage and Iron Fist were based on their Ultimate Spider-Man appearance. They can have that again if they want, but personally I would rather have something different this time around. And what they mentioned recently is that all the characters that did appear in the previous game will have new abilities. No one will feel the same as what they did in the last game. Now that is brilliant news. And one of the cool things that they've added is Daredevil can now swing around. So Daredevil can actually swing. No word on Spider-Man, like I said, but Daredevil will be able to swing around the city. So that is going to be a lot of fun. Just think about how you get around the city now. Think about these things, right? You can swing around the city with Daredevil, jump around with Hulk, fly around with Iron Man, and run up buildings as Quicksilver. That's incredible. Not to mention the vehicles, you know, the land vehicles, the air vehicles, probably even sea vehicles, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy the amount of ways you can get around New York City, and of course Washington DC, Hawkeye's Farm, Asgard, Malibu Mansions, South Africa, and much more. Like I said, guys, this game is massive. Now, as I previously said, Agent Carter is of course going to be playable in this game, both as, you know, the Agent Carter that you see from the TV show and the Agent Carter from the Winter Soldier, you know, the retired Agent Carter. So it's cool to have both those versions in the game. Now, if I didn't mention already, she will of course be voiced by Hayley Atwell. Hayley Atwell is reprising her role as Agent Carter in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. That is fantastic news. It really is. And like I was saying before, you know, I really hope that the 1950s thing, I hope we can do that in the open world just whenever we want. Imagine that, being able to drive around in old-fashioned 1950s cars as Peggy Carter, going around stopping random crimes in that day and age. That would just be so much fun. Now, it is extremely awesome to have Hayley Atwell reprise her role as Agent Carter in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, but another character that is reprising her role is Cobie Smulders as Maria Hill. Now, she didn't actually play Maria Hill in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, so it's great to have her back in that role in this game. I mean, that is just so cool to be able to see that she is back in the game. She was obviously, you know, already revealed in, I think it was the main menu of the game or something. Like, she was one of the characters that gives you tips. So we already knew of Maria Hill in the game, but the fact that it is voiced by Cobie Smulders, that is awesome. And last but not least, of the characters that have been announced at New York City Comic Con is, of course, Agent Phil Coulson. And obviously, you know, with Phil Coulson, who else is going to voice him than Clark Gregg? Yes, Clark Gregg is back yet again as Agent Phil Coulson in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Really great to see him back. He did a terrific job in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. If you didn't know, yes, that was actually him in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and to see him back, that's just awesome. Now, again, you know, like I said, all these characters are going to have different abilities, but will Phil have different abilities? Are you really going to be able to give him more? Personally, I would probably say yes, actually. If you think about it, if you go and look back on the recent Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes and things like that, they could probably figure out some cool stuff that he'd be able to do. Maybe we could get, like, his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. outfit. I like the one, I think it was the end of Season 1. It was kind of like a battle damage. He didn't have a full-on suit and everything. I would love to have that version of Phil in the game, because he just looks so cool in those last few episodes of Season 1. So fingers crossed we can get that, but if not, then just having Phil in the game in itself is awesome. Now then, moving on to costumes. So obviously we know with LEGO Marvel's Avengers that you play through now the Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America the First Avenger, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Thor the Dark World, and Iron Man 3. Well, a few of the costumes that were announced were for Captain America. So of course we know you get the Avengers outfit and you get Age of Ultron, but it is also being revealed on Twitter today by Arthur Parsons that we will also get the Captain America the First Avenger costume, the very first costume that we saw in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you don't count the other one that he wore in the movie. But yes, this is the one you're going to be able to unlock in the game, which is awesome. And of course we also get his Winter Soldier costume as well, which is just amazing. Now, there is some gameplay online that has been released, and I'm not entirely sure what this means, but if you look at the gameplay you can see Cap isn't wearing a helmet. But here's the thing, I think he's wearing his Avengers costume. So here's the question, will we be able to take our mask off whenever we want in any Captain America costume, or will that be a different variant or something like that? Maybe, you know, here's the thing, with the Avengers, Cap did take his mask off pretty much right at the end. You know, in the Battle of New York, he didn't really wear his mask as much, because obviously it got torn off. So maybe you get a different version of each. Personally, I would love to see the Winter Soldier version without the mask. If they have both, that's brilliant, but I really preferred him in the Winter Soldier when he didn't have the mask. I just thought that outfit without the mask just looks so cool. It really did, and I hope he has the blue shield and everything, because that would just add add to it and just make it that much more awesome. So yes, for people who are worried that there's too much Iron Man in the game, there you go. You got plenty of Captain America there. You've got all the Captain America costumes from the movie so far, and of course there might even be more. By that I mean, you know, like civilian clothes Captain America, of course, like I said in the trailer analysis, maybe we'll get the one from the gym in the Avengers. We will just have to wait and see. Honestly, I have no idea how to explain this, so I'm just going to say it. Yes, Squirrel Girl is of course in the game, we already know that, but she can suit up into Iron Squirrel Girl, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what to call it, but yes, there is a comic apparently, as you can see here, where Squirrel Girl suits up in an Iron Man suit and she flies about and everything, and you're going to be able to do that in the game. I love how far they're taking this suit up idea, you know. I love how, you know, me and a group of friends and things, we all talked about the idea of being able to do this. Would just be so cool, being able to get in and out of Iron Man suits, and TT Games take that and they take it to the next level. You know, you can just do anything now. You can, Stan Lee can suit up, Tony Stark can suit up, probably Ironmonger, and now Squirrel Girl? I mean, that's insane. Honestly, the only thing I want now is Rhodey to be able to suit up, hopefully Obadiah, and maybe, you know, if they can squeeze him in, Whiplash. I think Whiplash, being able to use the Whiplash Mark II armor, that would be awesome. Oh, and I guess you could also have Pepper Potts as rescue as well. You know, with the suit-ups, I'm sure they could add all of those, but I don't want too much Iron Man content, because I know a lot of people don't want that, and to be honest, with the Iron Man content they have now, I'm more than happy. And War Machine will definitely be in the game, so I would probably say that Rhodey will definitely have suit-ups. But yes, Squirrel Girl in an Iron Man suit is very cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like in-game. Now, last but not least, we're of course moving on to the vehicles. So the first vehicle that we're going to be talking about is Lola. Now, Lola is of course Agent Phil Coulson's vehicle from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is the vehicle that made its debut on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you'll be able to drive it in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Now, if I remember correctly, this car can actually fly. And if you remember from LEGO Marvel Superheroes, there was vehicles that could fly. So my guess is that you will also be able to fly with this vehicle. Maybe you press L1 like you did in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. I think it was L1, yeah. And then the wheels fold in and you can fly around and everything. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt that kind of thing, because TT Games, they are all about authenticity, and if they want Lola to be able to not only drive but also fly around as well, they're going to make it happen. And last but not least, of the LEGO Marvel's Avengers announcements that were revealed at New York Comic Con so far, is the Thanos Copter. Yes, the Thanos Copter is in the game. I don't know what to say. I never even knew Thanos had a helicopter. I'm not really sure why he needs a helicopter, but alright. I mean, you know, comics, it's comics, so why not? I mean, yeah, Thanos having a helicopter, that should be really interesting. And of course, again, like I said, you know, in my LEGO Marvel's Avengers New York City Comic Con trailer analysis, we did see Thanos. We could see him sitting on his chair. So my guess is if they have Thanos' helicopter, then they're going to give you Thanos. They're going to want you to be able to fly around in Thanos' helicopter as Thanos. So that should be quite interesting. It should be interesting to see how that all works. But yeah, it's a very interesting design. I'm very excited to see what this is going to look like in-game. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, I hope you enjoyed all that coverage on everything that has been announced at New York City Comic Con so far. Like I said, if anything else gets revealed, hopefully some screenshots or something, I'll be, you know, sure to make a video as soon as possible to talk about all the exciting information. But so far, I am over the moon. I really am. I am blown away and overwhelmed by everything that has been announced today. It is brilliant, and I love how one of the things I really like, and they were very nice to talk about it, is the Netflix content. You know, they were very nice to say, you know, we know people would want that, but we can't do it. But instead of that, we are still giving you those characters. There's no word on if Punisher's going to be in the game, because of course he's going to make his debut in Daredevil, but it would be really nice if he is. You know, just to have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and of course Punisher. Having all of those, and maybe even Kingpin and Purple Man as well, that'd be great. And, you know, just having all of those in this game is going to be a lot of fun. And the characters that have blown my mind today, I mean, Fang Foom. He could be like the most fun character to play as in this entire game. insane. Imagine going to a bank robbery as Fang Foom and just you know, destroying everything in sight and then just flying off as this big massive thing. I mean, that is just going to be so much fun. And then playing as Devil Dinosaur and eating the thugs that are robbing the bank and all that kind of stuff. I mean, random crimes and taking those characters and bringing them all together, that is going to be a ton of fun. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.